G'day viewers, welcome to another issue of WAINGAFAT Wednesday. And who am I not giving a fuck about today? Well, anyone who's still whining about the recent changes to YouTube tying you in to a Google Plus account if you want to get the most out of the comments on the site. I'm not saying it's brilliant, I'm not saying it's perfect. I don't have a fucking clue how to work Google Plus, quite honestly. But if you're whining, you're pathetic, okay? On so many levels. My personal favourites are the ones whose whole criticism has been with the implicit, oh, if only YouTube and Google were as insightful as me, they'd know what to do. Yeah, that's because your multi-billion-dollar company doing stuff that was actually impossible only a few years ago. Yeah, because your company that does that is so much better than Google and YouTube, except it isn't, you fucking egotistical loser piece of shit. They're the ones that annoy me the most. Others kind of amuse me, like particularly the ones that they could be summed up as, oh my god, something on the internet changed. You know what doesn't change on the internet? Dead things. And look, there is no way I'm a fan of all the changes YouTube has done over the years. There's a couple of changes I wish so much that it could roll back, which was notably the localization and being able to search on things like most commented on videos. Those functions were so good and they're just gone. They're the ones I miss the most. But the idea that Google didn't have to try and do something with the comments that were notorious as the cesspool of the internet, I just I'm a little surprised with things that they just actually fucked up technically. Like for one day I couldn't reply to any comments. That did get fixed in the first day, but some blunders surprised me, like letting people post links to malicious and porn sites and putting ASCII dicks in things, whereas a relatively simple filter would stop that and it's probably already in place. But missing that up front surprised me a little. But these are teething things. This is what happened. Of all the big changes YouTube has done, I can't remember any that didn't get developed, moderated, changed over time. They actually look and go, that isn't working, that isn't. And they do that with analytical stuff. Have you ever looked at Google Analytics? If you run a YouTube channel, look at the analytics. I assume everyone with the channel has, but maybe you haven't. It's amazing, the detailed information. And they're not giving us everything. They're not showing mouse clicks and whatnot to us, but they have that and they analyze it out the wazoo. What they don't listen to are fucking whiners. Like people, oh look, we've all signed a petition on change.org. You should pay attention. Look, I think it's come up around 200,000 now. Oh, 200,000, that's so many people. Yeah, not when you put it next to 1 billion people, which is the average number of unique visitors to YouTube in a month. And that's who they pay attention to. They look at how people use the site and they deal with that. The changes are a long way from perfect. And actually, also, people acting surprised. They're just trying to make us use Google Plus. Really? Really? A company wants you to use the company's product and you're acting like that's A, surprising, and B, unheard of? What kind of fucking moron are you? Of course, that's one of their goals. Maybe even their primary goal. I don't know. They don't share their secrets with me, and they sure as hell don't share them with fucking whiners. And that's one more thing. I've worked in IT for basically 20 years, usually as a business analyst, which means a whole bunch of different things, but it often means site development, planning, documenting, user testing, user interface planning, and one thing that has been shown again and again and again and again by successful websites is the people who whine and complain are fucking idiots. They're not your typical user. They're definitely not your most valuable user, and listening to the loudest whiners gets you nowhere. You look at how people actually use the site and you adapt based on that. Not on who's the loudest and whiniest and most fucking narcissistic. I'm not telling Google this. They know this. I'm telling the fucking whiners this. You're pathetic. Get over it. Look, I'm all for have your voice. But you know what? Google is a multi-billion-dollar company. They're not gonna fucking listen to you. And I mean that as both a criticism of Google and really a justification. The criticism, they don't listen to us little people. Creators and people way more important to the site than me don't get listened to, okay? And that hurts. I will admit there are times I'm upset with things that happen and a lack of responsiveness. But on the same time, they're a huge fucking company. Why would they listen to you? Why would they listen to me? They can't. Can you imagine? I was at a little Google presentation just this past week, and someone raised a really good productive thing saying, and I wish I could get to you and talk to you about that. And they said, yeah, well, here in Australia, we've got like 5 people on the team. And even in the US and in other centres where they've got hundreds or thousands of people on the team, they've got millions of people hammering them day in, day out. They just can't pay attention. It's ridiculous to expect them to. And yes, as a few people have pointed out, well, this could be the thing that has started. Nothing lasts forever, okay? Every IT company that has looked like it was top of the pile has lost that position. Companies that were world-beating don't exist anymore. Companies that were on top of the world, IBM, are just a joke. Microsoft might still have a lot of money and have the dominating operating system, but they're nothing compared to what they were in the late 90s. Apple has pretty obviously peaked and is about to have all the ground cut out from under it. And yes, no one's challenging YouTube yet, but they will. It's almost inevitable. The people at Google and YouTube are working really hard to keep ahead of the curve. They'll stumble one day. Something else will either equal or surpass them. It's what happens. And yes, when it finally happens, we'll all be able to go with the wisdom of hindsight. Ha ha ha, that was your blunder. But you know what? It's not today. It really isn't. There isn't anyone with a chance in hell. Someone we've never heard of. Someone we don't know about. Someone who doesn't exist yet is going to knock off YouTube. And yes, they will make wrong decisions. This Google Plus thing might be a really bad wrong decision. I don't know. I would like to stress, I'm not saying it's the right decision. It's brilliant. It's awesome. I don't know shit about Google Plus. I don't particularly like it, but I'm just resigned to it. Man, you can look at my videos over the years. For years, the comment system just didn't work. Some people think this has broken it. I think that's a bit of a big leap. Maybe ultimately they will have to revert to a lot of the older style things. Who knows? I'm not saying this is perfect or even good. I'm just saying it's what they're doing. And if you're so pathetic and so narcissistic and so clueless that you're still fucking whining about it and expecting anyone to listen, I just don't give a fuck about you.